Welcome to episode 5 of Fizzy's Editorial Reviews. I'm 14 Fitzpatrick, and for today's episode, let's talk about the main event train wreck, shall we? I've been dreading doing this one for a while, because there's just so many things wrong with WWE's main event scene right now that it's hard to pinpoint every single thing. I could just basically say that all of them are the problems and be done, but it's more than that. First, we start with the fact that Seth Rollins is completely out of his league fighting Brock Lesnar. Because Brock Lesnar has an aura of intimidation about him that, well, nobody else on that roster, barring Kevin Owens, has. Then you have Seth himself, and he has regressed badly. He's regressed badly in ring, and he's regressed badly in promos. Listening to a Seth Rollins promo is like listening to a teacher grinding her nails on the chalkboard at school. Incredibly painful. That's if you can hear the said grinding nails on the chalkboard, because oftentimes when I hear a Seth Rollins promo, I have to turn on the subtitles of my TV because he can't speak clearly into a microphone. I think that's day one stuff that they teach you in wrestling school, guys. Yeah, he constantly has a habit of stuttering on his words, and there are certain sentences that he has trouble speaking, such as inanimate during his promo this week on Monday Night Raw. He just started babbling on and going bubba bubba for some reason. Is Seth going to the same voice teacher as Roman Reigns did? You know, the Sylvester the Cat school for promos? I think he may have did that. Oh boy. He's beginning to go on the same level of badness as Dean is when it comes to live promos. And by Dean, I'm referring to Dean Ambrose, of course. So, WWE decided to put all their eggs in the Shield basket because the Shield was very popular for 2 years. They ran roughshod over the WWE with Roman Reigns' spear that ended everything and anything, Seth Rollins' high acrobatic style, and Dean Ambrose getting punched in the face a lot and selling really well. Since then, you have seen the cracks in the Shield develop right before your very eyes, as well as Fizzy's eyes, because, quite frankly, I knew the minute that they were going to break up the Shield, there were going to be some problems. And unfortunately for me, I was right. My doubts and my fears about the Shield were confirmed. Roman's promo ability was exposed relatively quickly with the disaster of the Royal Rumble and his Jack and the Beanstalk speak, which I enjoyed but everybody else hated. Seth regressed horribly as a promo guy, speaking in long-winded, rambling sentences. And then, to make matters worse, he decided to adapt from Triple H's promo set and began adding AAH at the end of his sentences, and began talking as long-windedly and ramblingly as possible, and not in the entertaining way that you're supposed to do it as a bad guy heel. I hope my Triple H impression gets some cheers from the comments, because I've been working on that for a couple weeks now. Anywho, Triple H promo impression inside. Then there was the problem of the concussion lawsuit. This is actually something serious. WWE recently has had a lot of concussion lawsuits from past superstars that are living or dead. From superstars and superstars' families that no longer work at WWE. So, Seth Rollins got one of his finishers removed, the curb stomp, which was very over. And they decided to replace it with the burial. No, I mean the pedigree. Triple H's old finisher. So, you want me to think that Seth Rollins is the next incarnation of Triple H. when he's actually becoming the next incarnation of Randy Orton, a guy that is very hard to place in any form of angle and just doesn't mesh well with other guys on the roster as far as matches go. Although Orton can have really good matches when he's motivated, that is. That's not to say that he can't have good matches with anybody. He just, as I said, has to be properly motivated. Also, it also has to rely on the voices in his head working together for once. Because, well, hey, if you say that somebody has voices in their head, then I assume that Orton is being possessed by the mob from Twitch Pays Pokemon. I assume that he has a lot of problems dealing with any form of ledges. Anywho, tangent out of the way. Rollins has had a interesting series of matches with Dean Ambrose, which I didn't think were that interesting. Because, well, it's hard to get excited for Dean Ambrose matches because his moveset is wild punching, 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 selling, 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 and then, of course, the pendulum lariat clothesline. A clothesline that I hate so very much. If there is a move in WWE that I would only have done by people who have long arms and actually are gigantically tall, it would be that lariat clothesline. Dean is short. Well, as short as a 6'3", 6'4" guy can be in a land of giants, but also his arm is really short. So it doesn't look right. Every time he bends over to the roast, I think, is he going to hit his head on the top rope? When he does that one of these days, like it's going to snap back at him in the face. And then there's the movement itself. It's so slow. He runs so slow against his opponent and then lightly taps his opponent, which then proceeds to fall down as though he has tripped over a bunch of marbles for some reason. I get that he's trying to sell the move, but the move itself is so silly looking. It really distracts away from his matches. And then, of course, there's the fact that his other, about 75% of his moveset consists of wild punching. And for some reason, they think that Dean is some kind of lunatic, when he really isn't. He doesn't act like a lunatic at all. Trust me, I know. I've had to deal with lunatics before. He thinks way too clearly for somebody who's apparently on the edge of insanity. So it's not believable. Then we have to talk about the other elephant in the room, the authority angle. I like the fact that there has been an evil organization, but it's been consistently going on and doing evil things for about 2 years now. But again, everybody thinks that the authority angle is stale, and that they need to go in a new direction. I keep asking my wrestling buddies this question. Who exactly is going to replace the authority again? I haven't gotten an answer, honestly. Some think that they should put Stephanie McMahon in charge and have her be a Dario Curto authority figure from Lucha Underground. Basically be the Master of Chaos. Although, with Dario, he makes it work so well because he is a professional actor. And Stephanie McMahon isn't a professional actress. She's a daughter of Satan. And she does a really good job of promos, nothing against her, but there's a big difference between a wrestler trying to act in a heel authority role and somebody who's been professionally acting for 20 years, assuming that role and basically running with it, like Dario has. So, yeah, there's a lot of problems. And then, of course, there's Kane being involved in the main event scene, which everybody doesn't like, because it takes away time from the young guys on the roster. And then there is the horrible injury bug that has been going on in WWE for the last 6 months. Seriously, Hideo Itami, shoulder injury. Alex Riley, knee injury. Sami Zayn, shoulder injury, before his main roster call-up, I might add. Kevin Owens, minor knee injury. Tyson Kidd, serious neck injury that may cause him to retire. Daniel Bryan, concussion, head and neck issues. It's a laundry list of injuries that have been going on in the WWE for the last 6 months to a year. It's obvious to me that something needs to change, but nobody really wants to do that change because they don't want to provoke Satan or they don't want to change anything in the company. Because they are opposed to change, or in Vince's case, he is biologically incapable of taking any form of criticism or any change. However, in my next editorial episode, I will talk about some change that has been going on in the WWE, mainly involving 3 characters. The daughter of a legend, a girl who looks like a steampunk time traveler, and of course, the boss of NXT. So, tune in for episode 6 of Fizzy's Editorial Reviews, which will be debuting after this one. I'm 14 Fitzpatrick. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you next time on Fizzy's Editorial Reviews.